Kenobi. Gosh, that guy's. I know I usually watch a lot of TikTok, but man, this person's like TikTok is always like in my head. TikTok is always just in my head. For those that watch TikTok, I'm mentioning Mike, and he's usually the guy that eats like a salad bowl or something in Kenobi. It's like an alternative to Chipotle balls, if you know what that is. And he's ranting while eating a Kenobi ball. Kenobi, he always says it like that. But yeah, here I am doing this usual, I guess, Vince talk early because I'm gonna be busy. I'm gonna be babysitting. I'm gonna be doing a lot of things, and yeah, I guess why not just share some news that I have gathered over this week and talk about it because a lot of crazy stuff has been happening. Um, and especially how I just, crazy stuff already happening even when the weekend hasn't even started. But yeah, let's get into it because I got some couple of animation news, some gaming news, the usual, and yeah, the news. And I'm talking about the news because it's a lot of crazy stuff that is going on within. I guess I wish I would put stuff that is like not very well known out there. I miss out on really talking about what happened in Minnesota with like what also happened here in San Francisco like a long time ago, where the sky was orange and well, pretty much there wasn't really much to gather from that as I wouldn't know. I never been to Minnesota, so I mean, but also, yeah, only a few weeks before I leave to Europe, which is going to be exciting. It's going to be I pretty much just been really waiting right now. I don't know what it is. It's just like every day, it just feels like I'm, waiting in the airplane to get to, you know, the day where I go into an airplane to get to Europe. It just feels like that. I've been bored. I don't know what I've been doing. I really want to actually just work on certain contents here and there. Reviews are sorry, not reviews. I did make a review of the Ambernick. I don't know when that's coming up, but I want to actually do that when I actually know how to do the whole affiliate thing. But interviews, because I've been wanting to do interviews, I just couldn't, man. This anxiety is killing me, and I could easily like just let them know, DM wise, but man, I have no idea. I don't know what's with me. It feels like things are just too late, but also it's just about like when it's ever coming, and I just don't know when's the right time to ever do that in terms of like living with my parents and pretty much you know I want to record in a day when they're not here, but that's just almost impossible. It always has to be a certain day that can happen, but shoot, I don't even know. You really have to thread the needle a lot of times when you make promises of just like doing interviews, which I made the biggest mistake of doing when like somewhere in the beginning of the year. Oh, I'm gonna interview this guy, this person, this creator, and that just never really happened because I'm just that stubborn of knowing what I want, but I just don't adapt to get it. Some motivator or some person that is usually older than me will be like, well, that's your fault, Vince, which it is, okay? I don't know what's wrong with me, but let's get into the news. So what's up with all this Diddy thing going on? Diddy is diddling out there and diddling all the way to court. I was going to talk about it last time. I just don't seem interested in really talking the whole Diddy situation. When it first came out, especially that footage where he was chasing a lady that was part of his like sesh of provocative things that goes on inside the Diddy house. But yeah, Diddy, it seems like he is going to jail. I really have no idea. Let me tell you right now, I don't know. I really don't know what's up with Diddy, but all I can say is something's about to happen. I know that for sure. I was like, is he going to jail? Is he not? Is he something's going on? This. I guarantee that I don't really have all of the sources, because the thing about doing events talk, and here's the thing within this series, I have zero. I freestyle everything I say. I freestyle. Whatever comes out of my mouth, I freestyle it. But I also put notes of just like talking about it basically. But it's not really a large amount of notes. It's just when things happen, hey, I just give my 2 cents. Like, hey, that happened. So with the whole Diddy situation, apparently one thing that is more noted for everyone when they hear about Diddy, especially now, is the whole thing about him with baby oil. He just seems to love freaking baby oil, which is used as, his, choice of lubricant, which I'm like what? First off, I don't. Well, actually, there really is no reason for me to. When I do my thing, which I've been trying to cut down on, doing the whole J off, you know what I mean. And it starts with M, and I can't say it because it is very inappropriate. Okay, but your enjoyment, your pleasures. I never use baby oil. Who uses baby oil for that? Okay, or maybe it's like for a massage, and maybe I did had baby oil on me, but I really wouldn't know because it's could be oil. It could be something, some luber. When I had got my massage, a while ago, and I have no idea if that's baby oil. I don't really know. You could have fooled me, okay? You could have told me it's freaking olive oil, and it'd be like, oh yes, olive oil. I don't freaking know, but yeah, apparently he has a thing with baby oil. Like, what do you need all that baby oil for? For the pool? Like you dive in the pool and all the girls are with you in that pool or something. And here's the thing. There's a lot of stuff I've been hearing about Diddy, which I'm not sure if I'm allowed to even say. No one will care if I do share it or something like that. But it's like he just had like a whole bunch of baby oil. He is also there's a lot of crimes he did in terms of like the trafficking that he started within the ring, that like the sex ring that he started, which is sickening. And pretty much, with the amount of like sex workers that he hired and stuff like that, and pretty much I'm interested to see the documentary going on about this. I guarantee you would actually have way more better sources than whatever is coming out of my freaking mouth. But yeah, the Diddy situation is bananas. And they say it's like, and pretty much what really caught the memes of it is because it's a lot of men in this whole thing that is going on with Diddy, which is like, okay, I guess that's what's going on. But also, now it's the baby oil. Now it's just other things that he's been exposed of and going to jail. Also, he has a son, which is like, that's crazy. I never thought when you have like kids, you would be into that. Then again, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't understand the minds of Diddy. All I can say that he needs Jesus in the most of the moment. He really needs God, because this is beyond disturbing of just going into this. Really couldn't, especially with the whole Epstein thing. I couldn't stomach that. There's just something so dark and sinister. And this whole Diddy thing is like, it's dark, but it's also like, it feels like it's not surprising, I guess. But then again, I'm just here giving you my 2 cents. So, hey, but anyways, I don't know if I talked about this last time. There was like another Trump assassination attempt or something. And, I just don't know where. Like, they caught the picture of the person. It's like an older gentleman. And I'm not sure if this is like in the same side or whatever. But, man. Also, can I just say another thing? Apparently, I got a dislike from, listen, I don't get a lot of views when I do these Vince Talks. And I could be wrong in some part of it. But when I do get views, maybe it's because of the thumbnail and the title. But, yeah, apparently there's that one person that just don't like me talking about Trump or politics. Listen, I'm just giving my 2 cents. I don't give no damns about either side. Then again, that would also offend people. Listen, I don't. Whatever I say, no one's going to be pleased with what I say, even though I don't know. Like, that's what happened with the whole Israel and Palestine thing. When I simply said I don't freaking know, I don't freaking know. And I'm still so, annoyed by this whole, because, I really don't understand what's going on over there in the Middle East. I really I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. Why you want to hear a random Asian person from the West Coast of America about this? Like, it's the most randomest thing. It's kind of like you want to hear a janitor talking about Sailor Moon, even though that's probably not what they're into. But who freaking knows at this point? Because, Sailor Moon is popular. But then again, you asking a random janitor that is doing his damn job that probably doesn't speak English, and then you come up to him and say like, "Oh, hello, do you know Sailor Moon?" It's like, okay. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like one of those instances. Like it's just like out of nowhere where I don't really know. But the thing is that I set up myself up really talking about it because I generally want to actually give my, conversation, my adult conversation surrounding it. Like for example, I want to give my conversation of surrounding the whole freaking chocolate with the Knefa thing, which I never really got. I just have no idea where to get that around here in terms of real stores. Like, are they serving that in the groceries? That's anytime. At any point, are they gonna serve that in the groceries? Like, I really hope so I can try one. I don't really trust of actually getting it online or something, even though that's like possible. But I feel like it would be cheaper to get it like in stores. I just been really wanting some chocolate actually. Why did I talk about that? What was my point again? But yeah, the another Trump assassination is. I don't even know if I talked about it last time. I don't want to go into it because I know most of you are probably annoyed. You don't come here for politics. I'm the worst person in the politics. Shoot, I'm not even gonna be here during the election day. It ain't about because I'm gonna be overseas and stuff like that. But yeah, I just hope America is still put together. I hope everything's gonna be a-okay. And I don't know. I really don't know. But other than that, let's go on to some more news here. Let's talk about something that I really want to actually just share my, again, 2 cents about. So Jeremy Jahns. There has been a time where I was subscribed to a bunch of, movie YouTubers. I'm still subscribed to Chris Stuckman. People have like issues of Chris Stuckman. I personally like him, even though that I may not agree with him in a religious sense. Maybe his mind has changed because that was a long time ago when he shared about his time being part of like the Jehovah's Witness. And listen, I'm a Christian. I don't even know what a freaking what is that? There's only simple way of, really worshiping God. And I feel like when you join, and this is the way I see it, when you join Christianity, it's like it's a much more simpler, more empowering way instead of like things being like organized or something like, and I know some things need to be organized at the church for sure. But overall, when I look at, going to church and, within Christianity and singing to the Lord, it's simple. It's more like, more about the principles of just, man, there is probably a better person to explain this better than I can. At this moment, I don't know what it is, but I can't explain it. But it's more intimate. It's all about God straight up, while other things about like this and that and changing stuff in the Bible, which is not right. And I'm only telling you about my experience because I used to be part of Catholicism, and pretty much that is different compared to where I'm at with God in terms of Christianity. And so far, it is more hype, and especially as a person that sometimes likes to party. I believe that when you join in Christianity, it's mostly a party, but for the Lord, okay? At least that what it feels like to me in terms of what I considered as a party. So when I hear about Chris Stuckman talking about the Jehovah's Witness, I have no idea what he's talking about. I do know that this was before I was serious about God, knowing that he was like just like, like hating and pretty much telling about the horrible things that happen at the church and talking about his sexuality. And I have no idea if that changed or not. So maybe I don't even know if that's where the criticism is, because there's so many people within the LGBT plus community that is just getting judged no matter where you land on it. It's just like in all sides and all forms. And it just seems like it's an ongoing thing, especially now of just like how they're, showing their colors and stuff like that. Every time when I hear a person that is within the queer community, I just they just can't help but project. Like, I was like, why you're projecting? Like, stop really talking about the people that are against you and talk about the ones that care about you. Where's the love? Where is that? And I noticed that. I don't know. But anyways, pretty much Jeremy Jahns and Chris Stuckman and Austin Evans and, all these other movie reviewers that I'm subscribed to. And pretty much just all started off from, Tony Watley when he was doing his movie reviews, as he's known as the Black Critic guy. And I enjoy, pretty much like a lot of these channels if I do watch the movie. I haven't been watching a lot of movies or been interested to especially like like I've been more focused in video games more than anything. But back then I was really like into movies, and I guess that for any movie you give your perspective, because Matt Walsh, a person that I kind of don't like, to be honest. I used to be sub to Matt Walsh, but I just don't like him because of his perspective on video games, which is always like it's like insulting. It's also like, man, you really just this person just have no idea or understands, and probably some other stuff. So I basically unsub him, and pretty much I'm not really a fan of Matt Walsh. Maybe like more so of Brad Cooper, but not Matt Walsh at all. Even Shapiro. I don't know what it is about Shapiro, but I don't really like him much at all. I mean, pretty much for the others. I guess it's only maybe a little bit of Knowles and pretty much Brett Cooper, but for Matt Walsh, he made he keeps making these movies and documentaries of exposing the quote unquote woke or whatever. And basically he made a movie that did well and talking about like I forget what the movie is called. I think it's called Am I Racist? I think that's what it's called. And yeah, he just made a movie exposing certain like, like as he call it woke departments and here and there, or whatever the movie is about. I didn't bring the sources of whatever the freaking movie that he made. Okay, because I just didn't care. Maybe I might care to see a couple clips here and there if I do have the time. But he made a movie about it, and pretty much as Jeremy Jahns, a movie reviewer, he is gonna review it. Even though it's a documentary, I believe that documentaries can still be movies. In a sense, they still have that cinematic perspective and a story, a plot, and something that is really getting you hooked through the story or whatever the topic is of what you're watching in that film. And Jeremy Jahns, just like everyone else, reviewed it, and he got backlash. He was canceled, called as a racist, and pretty much, this and that, the whole 9 yards. And I heard about this, with the whole, like, not with Jeremy Jahns, but I hear, like, people talking about Star Wars. As a person that don't freaking care about Star Wars, you can tell how much I really don't care about, ever playing the games or even Outlaws or something like that. I really don't freaking know what's going on in the universe. I couldn't tell you, but I do know Tatooine. I know Yoda. I know the reference of Star Wars, but I don't really am not that freaking passionate about it, okay? Some people are just like freaking sports fans when it comes to Star Wars. They cheer for it. But meanwhile, I'm like, okay. Okay. So when he was talking about this movie, when he was like, talking about these, or basically my point was when people were talking about Acolyte, I think that's what it's called, because they say that's a woke mess, but I wouldn't know. I really don't know. I just hear things and they cancel it of just like, and pretty much these are, like that's what I heard of an example that's basically what Jeremy Jahns is going through. Being canceled because he's talking about a film, a movie, and not really giving it a bad score when most people that are against Matt Walsh want him to give it a bad score, but then he lose a few, subscribers, but also gain a lot of people because of his, his way of reviewing it, and also the fact that he kept it up and not afraid to really share his opinions. And you shouldn't be afraid to share whatever opinions you have or whatever sources or anything like that. I feel like, yes, a lot of times the artists and stuff like that, like for example, like if I reviewed a movie, it's like the new Harry Potter or whatever, and it's from J.K. Rowling, and pretty much she got like a lot of backlash of just like her opinions within the trans movement. Then there is that part of like canceling her because of those and not supporting her stuff. But a lot of times it's kind of just like the whole friend thing. You're friends with somebody, but the friends that you could be friends with is probably the person that you have another friend that ain't cool with that other friend that you're friends with. And that's just life. You just got to deal with it. Sometimes people go to, they're part of different groups and stuff that you're not into. And basically, well, what you got to do about it type of deal. At least the way I think of it. and I'm not trying to make this complicated, but it's basically about, there's stuff that there's channels that I'm subscribed to that I don't agree their opinions, but I still watch them. I still like, okay, well, let's have an open mind and really look through this. And that's just basically that's life being an adult, or just life in general. I guarantee you there's many kids that don't really like the other kid, and because of this and that, and this, that, and the third, and whatever it is. But overall, like, they're not gonna like bash their head open or anything. Like, it's just like there's certain limits that you shouldn't extend because of their opinion. And apparently some people didn't really like his review or his opinions of the movie, to the point where they set up a petition to cancel Jeremy Jahns and just want him, basically gone from the internet, because he, giving attention to this movie from Matt Walsh, a person that, Matt Walsh offended a lot of people, but also that it's just a documentary, it's just a movie. Listen, he can review that the same way that he can also review like other movies that are pretty much that most people of the right don't like, most Christians that don't like, or most Muslims don't like, or whatever it is. It's just all about having an open mind of what you're into. And I guarantee there's even been a couple of stuff that I've been reading in this channel that people don't like, but I still read them. There's a good amount that don't like boyfriends, and I still read it because, well, a good amount of you want to see it. And there's times where I talk about certain topics in this channel, and most of you guys probably don't like that, but I'm gonna still talk about it anyways, because it's my damn channel. Nobody requests any of this. And well, I've been inspired because of Omni, Philip DeFranco, and these other channels that also talk about these other topics. And why not I do the same? Because I've been inspired to. So I guess that's where I'm at with my creative decision, but also with Jeremy's creative decision. He doesn't deserve to get canceled. He doesn't deserve any of this smoke at all, because a group of his audience disagree what he reviewed, and it's just like, well, what you gotta do about it? I don't know, but good thing that he still kept it on, and pretty much, hey, there could be another movie in there that probably the people that subscribe to him are also not gonna like in the future. I guarantee you, and it's gonna be another thing going on again. Okay, you just can't really put everything and trust your favorite YouTubers, thinking that they're your friend. They're humans as well. You need to know them personally to really get to know them. Next up, for gaming news, we got some gaming news here. Power World is getting sued. Who's surprised? Who was surprised? Raise of hands. Raise of hands. No one, because of course this was gonna come at some point. But yeah, apparently Power World, they getting sued by Nintendo and / Pokemon, whoever made Pokemon. But yeah, the developers of Power World is getting sued. And here's the thing. I'm like, okay, so what are they getting sued for? And from what I heard, I think it's like the mechanics. It could be either the mechanics or what they portrayed within the Pokemon. Because the thing is that this is probably a big deal for certain genres that also is part of Power World. I'm still trying to think to myself, because here's the thing. If Nintendo would, they could. I want to let you know that right now. If Nintendo would, they could. If any game that is inspired by Mario, because here's the thing, a lot of games are inspired by this and that, and pretty much influence and inspirations and stuff like that. You can't just like put like, oh, copyright this, copyright that. Oh, how dare freaking this movie right here also looks like Matrix or Mission Impossible. Copyright. Or that's not how it works. Especially if they're like years old and they've been established for basically decades. You don't see Star Wars, taking down Star Trek. But for video games, like, I really hope that this doesn't become a common thing for Nintendo's Power, because they can use it if they want to. For example, like, yeah, they're trying to take down Power World. What are the chances of taking down Moonstone Island? Or basically like any other monster taming game like Monster Hunter, or I don't know, like for example, Super Mario. If Nintendo could, they would. Okay, I say this right now. They could take down your favorite platformers. There's a lot of platformers out there. A lot. Can you imagine if these games were taken down? And some of you might not even know these games. Okay? Some of you might not know what these games are, but Nintendo could be sure to make sure that, nobody ever knows them. They could take down Hat of Time, which is a cool game. They could take down Jack and Daxter if they want. They could take down Ratchet and Clank, even though those games been established for basically decades. And they could take down a whole bunch of platformers. Kingdom Hearts, shoot, they could take them down too. I don't know. They can go up against Disney if they want to. It's ridiculous. It's like, me doing these videos, doing these Vince Talks. This is a podcast style Vince Talk. If somebody was also doing a solo podcast, talking show or video, what are the chances of them also being rich and successful, but also having the power to be all freaking megacorp and I own this style of content. I'm taking you down, Vince. You're not allowed to do a solo talk show. I'm like, what? Are you saying if whoever is the most popular vlogger or whatever could take down other vloggers that are only have 100 subscribers or something? They just showcasing they could be in Germany and just showcasing traveling in Germany, and this other person that just doesn't live in Germany or something like that, just takes them out because they're a vlogging channel. What is going on with the abuse of certain copyrights here and there? It's ridiculous. But I really hope that power doesn't come true to anything, any sorts, because you can only imagine that this could also happen with that's what happened. We almost had that with React channels, React Bros. If anybody is old enough to remember that, they almost took down every other React channel. So I'm hoping that Pokemon and Nintendo doesn't go in that same route, because that would be bad. And yeah, pretty much, I don't know if Power World is going to survive this. This is Nintendo. This is a megacorp, billion-dollar corporation. They got billions. What did Trump say? Billions, 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 cat and dog. Stuff like that. But we just don't know where this is going to lead to at all in the future, because, who knows? Time will tell. And speaking of Nintendo, Switch 2 was announced, and their name is going to be Switch 2. I'm like, okay, well, I don't know if I've seen the pictures of the new Switch, but I guess it looks interesting. I don't know. I mean, time will tell if I see an unboxing video of it. And what are the specs? I don't know. Maybe I don't really care much about Nintendo to care about the Switch 2. I really was hoping they call it Switch Pro, but whatever. Touch Arcade, a gaming website, just like Game Informer, has been shut down. RIP. Touch Arcade. Here's the thing. It's a mobile gaming site. And I was really thinking that Pocket Gamer was going to get closed down. I used to be subscribed to a lot of mobile gaming sites like Lonnie DOS and some other mobile game. I'm still subscribed to FG3000. Hope he's doing good. But yeah, mobile gaming itself, I don't know if it's sustainable for much people, but I don't even know what's going on with Pocket Gamer in their YouTube channel, because they just make videos of just talking about games. They don't care about they are what did they have? 100,000 subscribers, and they literally only get we're talking about 100 or 200 views per video. It's sad. It's man, you guys suck. And listen, I don't say any better, okay? I don't get a lot of subscribers as well. But when you have 100,000 subscribers and you only get 200 and 300 views, what the heck? That don't make sense. Anyways, yeah, moving on to animation news. I don't know. Okay, I might have to stand up for this one because also I'm sweating. I never done this before where I stand up and just give you and drop the tea basically. But apparently, what is it called? IDW Studios. This is something real, and pretty much here I go again, where my religion is sort of just coming in as I talk about this. But yeah, what is this lady name? header or whatever, had like a freaking t-shirt called Hail S word, which I can't say because I almost said it. And I almost summoned the demons, but I ain't summoning nothing, okay? You hear me? I ain't summoning you, okay? It's not happening. So, yeah, IDW, a comics that is known for making Sonic comics, basically hired a cultist, basically, as I say it. An S cultist, if you know what the S is, I ain't saying it. I ain't trying to summon the demons. But, yeah, I just hired one and pretty much did a freaking, like, cultist, like, worship in a freaking anime convention. In Fan Expo. I think that's what it's called. Fan Expo Chicago. And did a whole, like, I can't imagine going to an anime convention and then I see this whole thing next to me and oh, look at that. There's a whole devil worship going on here. And I'm just like, why is this allowed? This is not okay. Listen, let me get into my inner, like, spiritual self real quick because you might look at me in a certain way and be like, okay, Vince, you're crazy. Well, here's something crazy. Listen, curses are real and demons are real, okay? Knowing that if you summon that stuff in anywhere at any point, it's dangerous. You will get nightmares, sleep paralysis, the whole 9 yards. Real life Silent Hill out here, okay? This is real stuff. Stuff like this shouldn't be played around because curses are real. They can affect you. See what happened with look it up. Writers of the Deliverance movie. The movie called The Deliverance. Deliverance. I need water. The Deliverance, okay? Don't watch that, by the way. But also, the person that made the movie basically had weird spiritual things, even though he prayed because it is an evil movie to make or something and the way what it's about. But when he was making the movie, demons were coming out. I guarantee they were coming out. His dog caught his dog caught cancer. And also there was something that happened in the scene of the movie where some possessive stuff happened as, they were making the scene and it turned real. Stuff like that. Look it up. Deliverance and the movie. And also make sure to look up people like Cap and Isaiah, these pastors that are talking about the movie. And stuff like that is real. So when you have Heather, trying to be the new Lilith and trying to summon the demons in the streets, and pretty much working in a comic, and especially throwing at least that's from what I heard in the news. I really hope it's not true. I really hope that t-shirt was a joke. Then again, why would you joke about that? It is just demonic. Why is stuff like this okay? Why is it okay? It should never be okay. Ain't nobody, and I mean it, ain't nobody trying to deal with any of that voodoo evil stuff, okay? That stuff is real. We're trying to be safe out here, okay? Take it from me that basically I got flipped like an omelet by a demon, okay? During my sleep. I guarantee you it happened, okay? It's real out here, and I know people are going crazy. Look at the content that I make and try to understand why these demons came out in the first place, okay? It's insane out there. We're trying to be safe. We're trying to be safe out here and pretty much, I don't know. People don't understand the spiritual side of safety, which is the most important kind of side because, God is real. But also, evil is real. There's good and evil in the world that can come to you even in your homes, in your house. I'm stopping. Anyways, I feel cooler now. Anyways, I don't know what that was, but I just had a whole workout of talking to you guys. Other than that, I'll see you when I see you. Vince, are you okay? Man, am I okay? Am I okay? This is why I have Jesus, because I know I'll be okay. I'll be okay. But it shouldn't be a surprise that I'm never okay, because that's the side of entertainment that I give you, is me not being okay. Okay? You're okay? Okay. 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 I'm thirsty. One love and a peace. God bless, and Jesus love you. Peace.